Hello. So today we will be starting with the partnership accounting, and I hope I was able to, properly tell you what all is NPO. So today we will be starting with the chapter two of partnership account, chapter two of class 12th account, part A, that is partnership accounting. So what is partnership accounting? So first let us know what is meant by partnership. See, partnership is something wherein two or more people, two or more persons join hands, right? Two or more persons join hands to carry out a certain activity. Their activity may be manufacturing, their activity may be providing service. For sharing profits, that is having mutual profits or profits means profits or loss, right? So partnership is two or more persons join hands for carrying out certain activity that may be either manufacturing or service sector or service for and have mutual profits or loss. So this is a basic concept of partnership, right? As per Companies Act 2013, that's applicable now, it says wherein the limit for partnership, the limit for partnership, 1 minute. Yeah. The limit for partnership, the persons to be in partnership. That is, we can say how many persons will be able to form a partnership or will give a nature to an entity formed as a partnership. So the company says that only not more than 100 people or 100 persons can join to form a partnership. So this limit of 100 persons is given in the Companies Act 2013. Okay. We also have in India Indian Partnership Act 1932. This Partnership Act does not, specify how many maximum partners can form a partnership, or something, does not put any limitation on partnership, but the actual or main limitation is put by Companies Act 2013. After that, now let's start. Uh, what are the main features of partnership, right? The main features are a mutual, the main features are mutual understanding. See, whenever I form a partnership with someone, so there should be mutual understanding between two. Mutual understanding means mutual understanding how to divide, how to carry out activity, who will be looking after main operations, right? Who will be looking after manufacturing, who will be looking after, the main revenue generating activities. And to carry this, the other operation, these are the main operations. Main operations include manufacturing or having main revenue generating activities like, you know, dealing with who will be looking for the customer relationship teams, building customer relationship teams in an IT sector. So that is a main operation of that IT revenue generating activity, IT sector revenue generating. The second is sales or marketing operations. Sales and marketing operations are also of utmost importance. For example, if this operation, this manufacturing or this is working fine, but this segment is not performing well, so the overall revenue will decrease itself. Again, if this is working. Well, again, now what happens? This operation is working fine. This operation is working excellent. But this operation is not able to perform to its expectations. So again, revenue will be less, or the partnership formed will be having troubled times ahead. So there should be mutual understanding between the two, or the people, be two, maximum 100. Then how they will be sharing the profits. Profits, by profits I mean profits include losses also. Then what will be the fund capital sharing process? Capital sharing, right? So how will they share the capital? Like, for example, if they decide that we will be starting partnership with 30 lakhs amount. So how and how many people will be bringing 30 lakhs? What will be their share in bringing the capital in the firm? So that is the division, and it is referred to as capital sharing division. Okay. And then these are the main, or you can say, the principles of the Indian Partnership Act 1932. The Indian Partnership also details about how the partner, how will it be dealing with admission of partner, admission, retirement, right? Then death of partner, and etc. These three, 1 minute, sorry. See, in partnership, these three, that is mutual understanding, profit, capital sharing, are also the main features of Partnership Act. These are the main features of partnership. Okay, let's move further. What the main book says. See, this is accounting for partnership basic concepts. Okay, then nature of partnership I've already explained in this. When two or more persons join hands to set up a business and share its profit and losses, they are said to be in partnership. Okay, then Section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act defines partnership as relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all, or any one of them acting for all. Okay. So what are the essential features? Two or more persons. Then agreement. There is an agreement. Correct. That agreement is always in a written form. It is not necessary that such agreement is in written form. An oral agreement is equally valid. Correct. And an oral agreement is also equally valid. But in order to avoid disputes, it is preferred that partners have an agreement. Okay. So it basically says that yes, the partnership is preferable if it has written agreements. Okay. Then business, they should be able to carry on some business. Like I was discussing about being with manufacturing, or be it in a service sector. Then mutual agency, right? We discussed about mutual cooperation. Then only a partnership may run. The business of a partnership concern may be carried on by all partners or any one of them acting for all. Okay. Then it says sharing of profit. The sharing of profit, again, the same thing we were just discussing right now. Another important element of partnership, that agreement must be to share profits and losses of the business. Yeah. Then it discusses, oh, this is the foremost important thing. Liability of partners. See, The liability of partners is something wherein, while they are in a partnership, one of the partners, makes an agreement that is not favorable to the partnership, to the partnership firm as a whole. It is an onerous contract. What does onerous contract mean? See, it is an onerous contract. 1 minute. ONER. 1 minute. I will use a different pen so that it properly highlights as to what I'm saying. See, what I'm discussing right now is an onerous contract. ONEROUS. Right. Onerous contract. So what does onerous contract means? Onerous contract means a form of contract wherein cost is high and the profit and cost is high and the benefit, or you can say the sale is less. See, the main motto of any association or any type of any type of association, be it be it not-for-profit organization, be it partnership, be it company, be it AOP, be it LLP, be it any form of an organization. The main motto of all is that they will be successful only and only if sale is more and cost is less. This signifies that when sales are more and cost is less, profit will be more, right? So this is the main, fundamental of all these organizations. So onerous contract means cost is more and the benefit of the sales is less. This implies loss, a situation of loss, right? This implies a situation of loss. So this is an onerous contract. What can be the consequences if a partnership firm signs an onerous contract? There might be losses to the partnership firm. The situation might be such that the people or the persons working there don't get salary. There are bills due on the partnership firm. Many other expenses which remain unpaid. There might be sundry expenses. What do you mean by sundry expenses? That is the daily expenses that are bound to happen but are unpaid. So what happens? The liability keeps on mounting. Liability is increasing day by day. So when the liability is increasing day by day, there will be a situation where the partnership needs to shut down itself, right? Because the partnership is not able to survive in such a environment, so partnership shuts down. Now, when partnership shuts down, it doesn't mean that only those partners who are in the who are in the partnership at that point of time are only liable to bear all losses. All those partners, all those partners who were in partnership within 1 year prior, within 1 year prior to end of partnership business. will be equally liable. So what this means? This means that even if a person retires or even if the person leaves, quits the partnership firm, even within 1 year before the closure of partnership due to the liabilities mounting on the partnership firm, then also that person will be equally liable to bear all the losses with the other partners of the firm, even if he is not a partner. Right? I hope I have made myself clear as to what I am saying. So this sentence means a lot that people or the partners share liability. They are severally liable, and not only one partner is liable. Moving on to the next, partnership deed. What does partnership deed say? The partnership deed, the partnership deed is as per Partnership Act 1932. Okay, so what are the contents of partnership? Names and addresses of firms and business and its main business. Names and addresses of all partners. Amount of capital to be contributed. Accounting period of the firm. Date of commencement. Rules regarding operations. Profit and loss sharing ratio. Rate of interest. Mode of auditor's appointment. Salaries, commission, etc. So these are the main contents of the partnership deed. Okay, I hope till this everyone is clear, right? Moving forward, then comes provisions for Partnership Act relevant for accounting. Now, see, once the partnership is formed, now we need to continue with the partnership on a daily basis. So what all will be there when we start? So there will be certain amount of capital being brought by the partners. So this capital will not be free to the firm. There might be some cost that the firm needs to pay. That cost is referred to as interest cost. That is, a firm or a partnership firm needs to pay interest on this capital brought in by the partners. Right? So there might be some interest cost. So what are the mutual? See, what are the provisions? What are the important provisions? Interest on capital. Similarly, there might be there might be some discussion also, discussion on the division of profits and how they might be, and how the profits may be divided. Partners may decide that profits will again be divided on the basis of the ratio of capital brought in. Okay, on the ratio of capital. Or the amount of hard work, amount of contribution by the relevant partners. Or there might be some sharing of calculation of some sharing ratio of how the capital or how the profits will be divided. So this is again the division of profits, or there's again a fundamental, fundamental provision, important provision affecting the partnership account. Then there might be interest on drawing. Again, one of the partners might have given a loan, so he would be demanding interest. So there will be interest on loan. Now, if for example there are 5 partners and one of the partners is working continuously, right? One of the partners is working continuously out of 5, and only because of him the partnership firm, the firm is able to earn profit, right? When this is a situation, this partner might say that I need to get some additional amount of working. That might be salary he is demanding. So this is also one of the main provisions of the Partnership Act, which needs to be discussed beforehand before starting the partnership. So that how the salary will be divided or to whom all will the salary paid. Mind you, the salary will be only paid to the working partners. The partners who are coming in the firm to work, to provide their guidance, to provide their, to provide their expertise in something. So those are the working partners. So salary will be provided only to working partners and not to the non-working partners. Right. So moving forward, remuneration for firms work. Okay. Apart from the above, Indian Partnership Act specifies the following subject to contract between the parties. Use of property or business in connection of the property or business connection of the firm on the first name, he or she shall account for the profit and pay to the firm. If a partner carries on any business of the same nature as in competing with that of the firm, he or she shall account for any pay to the firm, all profit made by him or her in that business. What does this mean? It means if partner carries on any business of the same nature, like one of the the main aim or the main nature is manufacturing of iron billets, or you can say the manufacturing of iron bars. One of the partners in the same partnership firm starts his own business of manufacturing iron bars. So both are competing, right? What will happen? That individual partner might, get in the business of the partnership firm. So they will be loss of profit to the partnership firm. It means this that then he will have to pay or he will have to compensate the partnership firm with that. So what this line means, if a partner carries on any business, that is manufacturing of steel bars in our example, of the same nature, means the partnership firm is also carrying on the same steel bars business as and competing with that of the firm. Okay. He obliques she means the individual partner shall account for and pay to the firm all profit made by him oblique her in that business. That the business means steel bar business. Okay, so this needs to be there, because if this is not there, then all the partners will start doing their own business and they will be lost to the firm. So this clause needs to be added. Okay. Similarly, what this first point means, if a partner derives any profit for him oblique herself from any transaction of the firm or from the use of the property or business connection of the firm or the firm name, he shall account for the profit and pay it to the firm. What does this mean? The firm has a big land, big land or a big farmhouse wherein the events are held daily or wherein the events are held frequently, and the firm gets a rent of approximately 20,000 or 50,000 rupees per night or per day. Now, what happens? One of the partners needs to hire the partnership firm, needs to hire a land for the celebration of birthday party of his child. So what he does, he lets on hire the property of the firm for one day and does not give money to that firm for the rent. in form of rent, sorry. So what this line says that that person will need to pay amount equivalent to the amount which would have been receivable by the firm had uh, another party been conducted instead of birthday party of the person concerned. The person concerned is the partner, right? That is rupees 50,000. So in our example, the partner will need to pay rupees 50,000 to the firm in lieu of holding a birthday party of his son or of his child. I hope I am making myself clear till here. Then comes special aspects of partnership accounting. The special aspects means accounting treatment of the partnership firm is similar to that of the sole proprietorship business, with the exception of following aspects. What are those? That is maintenance of partners' capital account. See, we will discuss this now. What's coming to partnership accounting? Okay, what all accounts are necessary in partnership account? This is same as we had discussed in NPO about receipts and payments account, then income and expenditure account, and financial balance sheet. So those were the accounts of an NPO. Now we are discussing what are the accounts for partnership firm. See, for the partnership firm account, the accounts will be one, profit and loss account, right? The second will be balance sheet. Yeah, the first I forgot. It may, what happens in sometimes trading account is also included in profit and loss account itself. So this is trading and profit and loss account, or in certain cases there are three accounts. There is trading account, profit and loss account, and balance. So these are the partnership. These are the accounts need to be maintained for partnership accounting. Okay. One more thing now we will discuss is 1 minute. See, other thing that we'll be discussing is, okay, for making these three accounts, we need to further maintain some account, right? So what are they? They are journals, ledgers, trial balance. Because when these three are there, then only we can derive these. Also, in partnership accounting, we need to maintain the capital accounts of partner. See, this is also mainly related with the balance sheet account. Why? Because in balance sheet, you remember, there are two sides. One is liability side and one is asset side. In liability side, we write capital, right? So from where does this capital come from? This capital comes from this only. So this is capital account of partners. Again, we may have two capital accounts of partners, two types. What are the two types? One is fixed capital account and one is fluctuating capital account. So these are the two types of capital accounts that a partnership firm may follow. So what is fixed and fluctuating, we will discuss in the later part. Okay. Then distribution of profit and loss, that is done through profit and loss appropriation account. Yes. See, profit and loss account that we were discussing here, it also includes profit and loss appropriation account that is made after the profit and loss account has been made. Okay, so we will discuss profit and loss appropriation account also in the later stages. Then then adjustments of wrong appropriations. Okay, then reconstitution of the partnership firm. Okay, and the dissolution of the partnership firm. So these are the special aspects of partnership accounting, right? Now comes maintenance of capital accounts of partners. See, these are the methods I was saying: a fixed capital method, and secondly, this is the fixed capital method, and this is the fluctuating capital method. So what is fixed capital method and what is fluctuating capital method? See, in fixed capital method, what is that? The main capital account. There are two types of capital accounts prepared. Okay. There are two types of capital accounts prepared. One is cap, capital account, and one is current capital account. See, in capital account, what is done? When the person or when the partner had earlier bought in capital, like he would have bought 5 lakhs. So this is my capital account. So this is permanent. It's not going to change unless and until that person withdraws money permanently. For example, say 2 lakh rupees. Okay. So this is a permanent withdrawal. Now we have also learned that we will be sharing profits. We will be um, paying interest to the partners. We will be sharing profits. We will be um, dividing. We will be dividing the profits, or we will be we will be taking interest on drawings from the partners. So how we need to do that? All this is accounted in the current capital account. Like when we have received interest on capital is accounted here. Interest on drawings is accounted here. And then comes a change. So this is a change, and this again will follow the next year. This will again follow the next year. The same thing is done continuously every year. I hope this is clear that current capital account means all the activities which are temporary in nature or which are there only for a certain period of time. So for maintaining that account, for maintaining that of avoiding confusion, we maintain two accounts, that is the capital account and the current capital account. All this are entered in current capital account. In the capital account, what we enter? We only enter that amount which we know we will not be taking from away from the partnership unless and until there is some adverse situation, or when we retire. At only that point of time we will be withdrawing the funds. So that type of fund is kept in capital account. Okay. See, floating capital method and fixed capital method. The capitals of partners shall remain fixed unless additional capital is introduced or part capital is withdrawn as per the agreement among the partners. All items like share of profits, interest on capital, drawings, interest on drawings, etc., are recorded in separate account called partners current account. This is only we have discussed, right? The partners capital accounts will always show a credit balance, which shall remain the fixed year after year unless there is any addition or withdrawal of capital. Okay, this point is also clear. Right now, see, this is partners capital account and this is partners current account. So partners capital account is maintaining the opening balance, then bank fresh capital introduced or permanent withdrawal of capital, and then balance kind of. What does the partners current account contain? The partners current account contain balance brought down in case of credit, salary, commission, interest on capital, profit and loss appropriation, that is a share of profit. On the debit side, what comes? Drawings, interest on drawings, profit and loss account, and balance carried on. Balance carried on is something that is if there is in case of credit closing balance. Okay, so this is partner's current. Then comes fluctuating capital method. What is fluctuating capital method? Under the fluctuating capital method, only one account, that is the capital account, is maintained for each part. Correct. Okay, but this is fixed capital method. Now we will be discussing the fluctuating capital method. See, in fluctuating capital method, we do not prepare two accounts. We only prepare one account, that is called capital account. What this capital account contains? This capital account contains the balances brought down, then share of profits, right? Share of profits will be credited here. Profits, there will be share of profits of the losses. I mean, the losses will be credited here. Here, the share of profits will be credited. Then interest on drawings, which will be taken by the firm, so that will be debited, and interest on loans that will be received. Then comes salary that will be received by the partner, right? Interest on capital. There are many things that are there. So all these things will define a capital account under fluctuating capital method. So this is what is fluctuating capital method, right? So what this is say? This says under the fluctuating capital method, only one account, that is a capital account, is maintained. Each partner, all the adjustments such as share of profits and the share of loss, interest on capital, drawings directly in the capital are recorded directly in the capital accounts of the partners. This makes the balance in the capital account to fluctuate from time to time. This is the reason why this method is called fluctuating capital method. Right? So this thing I think is clear, pretty clear. What are fixed capital accounts and what are fluctuating capital accounts? See, this is the form of partners capital account wherein balance brought down, correct. Then banks to fetch capital introduced, salaries, interest on capital, profit and loss. Okay, on the debit side, we are having balance brought down in case of debit closing balances, drawings, interest on drawings, profit and loss account. Then this all are there in the debit account, debit side of the partner's capital account. Okay. Now comes the distinction between fixed and fluctuating capital account. So see, the distinction between fixed and fluctuating is really simple. What is the distinction? Number of accounts. Under this method, two separate accounts are maintained. In the fixed, I am discussing on the fixed method. Two structures of accounts are maintained. One is capital account and one is current account. In fluctuating capital method, only one account is maintained. Items related to deed, drawings, salary, interest are posted on the current capital account. Whereas all the items related to deed, be it drawings, be it salary, interest on capital, etc., are posted in the capital account itself. Then there is fixed balance. There is no change. The balance fluctuates from year to year. Okay. Yeah. Then credit balance. The capital accounts always show a credit balance. There might be, a debit balance also. There might be a debit balance in my current account, in my fluctuating capital account. Then comes distribution of profits among partners. So from here, we will be discussing tomorrow about the distribution of profits among partners. I will request you all to please go through this video seriously, and even if there is a slightest of a query, please do let me know in the comment section, and I will be really helpful, or I will be really obliged to help you in this regard. Secondly, if you like this video, please do share it with your friends and also subscribe to my channel so that you get all the latest updates about any topic that's day of class 11, 12 simultaneously. Although I'm not started class 11 right now, I'll be starting in Dubai. So hope you like this video and do share it with your friends. The rest topic we will be doing in the next session. Thank you.